Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So in the last class, we have seen about the electric potential difference and the field strength also we have completed. Today we are going to see about the electric potential. Already I started in the last class. So again, I repeat. So here electric potential due to a point charge. If a point charge is in free space, how electric potential will be calculated? This thing we are going to calculate. Already notes I have given to you all. Soft copy I shared in the group, So just please check the spellings or the spelling mistakes are there while typing. Okay, those things you can correct. So that will be for your reference, and even a PDF textbook also I shared to you all. So please go through that. Okay. So in the last class we have seen about the same thing I said, electric potential difference we have seen, and how with respect to the potential difference, how the field strength will be. That means the potential strength will be calculated in terms of potential and field strength. For that, work done how it happens that we have taken the field, and in that field we assume some charge, and now with respect to that we got the field strength, right? And now today we are going to see about the potential due to electric potential due to point charge. So here I am assuming a point charge. This is a diagram, everyone can note it down. Already in the last class if I completed, it's okay, no problem. This is a point charge, and with respect to the point charge, the electric field lines of force will be outward drawn, correct? So it will be always like this. So already I am saying every time the same, correct? Like this. So either I can take this side or any side we can take, but for easy to understand, here I am taking one such electric lines of force. This is our electric lines with respect to the positive charge. Because it is a positive charge, so if it is a positive charge, always the direction of flow of charge will be outward drawn. So in a similar way, here we are taking the same assumption, and with respect to this, we are going to calculate the potential difference. Okay, so how this would be calculated? First, what we have to do? Let us consider positive charge in free space that I have taken. Okay, which is outward drawn normal. And here I am taking two such points here, because whenever we want to find the potential difference, compulsory we have to get the potential difference between any 2 points. So here I have taken two such points. Okay, 2 points A and B. I have taken 2 points, and which is located at a distance of RB from the test charge, and from here to here point A it should be RB from test charge to point A. Okay, so this is about point. Now already we have taken positive charge. So now with respect to this positive charge, the 2 points we have assumed, which we are going to calculate the potential difference between these 2 points. Now here, which are located at a distance of RB from the point charge B, and whereas A is at a distance of RB. Okay, so like this we have to assume. And now here I am taking a point test charge I am going to assume. Here what I am going to do, to calculate the potential difference at any point or at a particular point B. So if you want to find, then what we have to do, we have to consider another tester, right? So for that case, what I did, let us consider a test charge which is located exactly in between the 2 reference points. So it's not exactly I kept here, just you can put exactly at the center of these 2. Now, if we take this one, then here if we talk about the force exerted by the field charge Q, okay, at the particular point B will be outward drawn normal. So in that case, here, how we have to write? So here the force exerted, okay, by the field charge with respect to this charge Q on test charge with respect to Q naught. How we'll write? So with field charge Q on test charge Q naught, it should be written as like this. So how you'll write that one? Force exerted on this particular point with respect to test. It should be Q naught. What is the formula for force? Force is nothing but, actually we know electric field intensity we can find out with respect to positive charge will be force per unit test. Correct or not? Force per unit test charge. So from this relation we have written F is equal to Q naught into E. Okay, so this I have written for this with respect to now. Suppose now if I move this test charge towards the point B, if this particular test charge, if I move towards point B, then what happens? Suppose I move this to this side, Earlier, with respect to this positive test charge, here the force exerted will be Q naught into V. That already we have written here. This is about that. Now, if suppose I want to forcibly move this point test charge towards the point B, then the force exerted onto this particular point B will be, because which is in opposite direction. So here I can write this with respect to force exerted due to this point test charge minus Q naught into E. Correct or not? Because it is moving towards the opposite direction of the charge. Correct? So whenever you take it is in opposite direction, then it should be taken as a negative distance. So that means it moved a small distance. Okay, it moved a small distance dr. Correct? It moved a small distance dr. Then if forcibly, that means by some external agent, this particular test charge moved towards this side. Correct? Without forcibly, we are saying, that means forcibly how it happened? Due to some external agent. Due to some external agent, we forcibly moved from here to here at a distance of dr. Then it taken some work done. Correct? So the work done by this external agent on this particular test charge to move this test charge towards point B will be at a distance which is moved at a distance of dr. Therefore, the work done can be defined as, how you define the work done? Work done will be defined as force, correct or not? Force, external agent. You apply some external agent. On which one? On, and how much distance it is moved? A distance of dr. Then work done will be defined as force, whatever you moved. That means it should be written as force into displacement. So how much of displacement it has taken? dr. Okay, the displacement taken is dr. Therefore, already we know we have from this expression due to, because with respect to test charge which is moving towards point B. So towards point B we have to write towards point B. Force exerted towards point B when we move this one. So therefore here I am going to write this as minus Q naught E into dr. What is this one now? This is the work done. Correct? So this is about Q naught E into dr. So this is the actual work done due to some external agent to move this particular point test charge from here to a small distance of dr towards B. Correct? So this already you know. Now, so already here we got about this. But here I'm going to write, since here E with respect to point test charge. What is electric field intensity to point test charge? Already we know that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by R square. Whereas this is already we know. So that means here we can write this in the form, take this value and substitute in the place of E. And what this is for? Due to point charge. Electric field intensity, here I'm writing due to, or also you can write no issue, due to point charge. Electric field intensity due to point test charge also you can, okay, or with respect to point. So when you take electric field intensity to point charge, E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon to Q by R square. Take this E value and substitute it with the work done equation. So our work done with respect, that means due to some external force applied on this external agent. So what is the work done now? This work done will be written as minus Q naught into, what is here? E is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So I'm writing here 4 pi epsilon naught, and here it is Q by R square. So here I'm writing Q by R square into, what is left over? dr. What is left over? dr. So this we have written. Now this is about work done was taken place only due to external agent by moving a particular small distance of dr. But now I would like to find for the whole, that means the total work done in moving the test charge from A to B. So here we can write, I'm writing here, therefore the total work done. So you can also write the total work done. Okay, so I will write the total work done in moving, total work done in moving the test charge, moving the test charge. Okay, the total work done in moving the test charge from point A to. So what is now this? How it will become now? So now we are going to write from, actually it is with respect to A and B in between we are doing. So here A to B, so we can write this as integral A to B for whole, that is dw be equal to, I will write this integral RA to RB, because the distance, sorry, here I written B, sorry, this is A. So to A. So here the distance from point charge to the point A is RA, and the distance from point charge to point B is RB. So we are writing for the whole part. So that is RA to RB. So it should be integral RA to RB. So what is our expression now? Here we have minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. What are left over? Q by Q into Q naught by R square into. Correct. So now from this expression, now our this W will become as W, but whereas A and B is there. So work done takes place between the 2 points A and B should be written as, I will write, I'm taking this negative term outside. So I'm taking Q naught by 4 pi epsilon naught. I'm taking outside integral RA to RB. What is left over here? 1 by R square. Okay. 1 by R square into dr. 1 by R square into dr. 1 by R square into dr. So now from here we can write the total work done between two, due to some external agent between 2 points A and B, to move a point test charge from distance A to B will be written as, I will write now, after integrating this, 1 by R square is how much? 1 by R square is how much? Minus Q by Q naught by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is integral of 1 by x square? It should be minus 1 by x. So here it is 1 by R square. So we can write that as 1 minus 1 by R, RA to RB. RA to RB. So now this expression will become like this. Final expression will be, what is your final work done? Here, that means the potential difference from point A to B will be written as, that means the potential difference between VB minus VA should be written as, okay, how will write? WAB by Q naught. I'm taking with respect to the test charge. So therefore, the potential difference between 2 points will be written as work done per unit test charge. This should be equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into what is left over here? 1 by RB minus 1 by A. By RB minus, what I did, just I substituted the limits RA to RB. So it should be 1 by RB minus 1 by RA. And you may ask the question, sir, here minus is there and this minus is there, minus into minus, it becomes plus. So it won't be, so it should be Q. Correct? So plus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by RB minus 1 by RA. So this is our final expression. Correct? Now suppose if this my point A is at infinity, then what happens? The potential difference with respect to VA will be equal to 0. Correct? Then our expression becomes here, the final expression will become as, how will become the final expression will be? VB is equal to, what is the expression? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by RB. Correct? Right? This is the electric potential due to charge. When you consider this point A, when you consider point A, here I am writing point A is at infinity. If you consider, that means if you bring a point test charge from the reference point is taken at infinity, if the reference point is taken at infinity, then VA should be equal to 0. Then the potential difference due to, that means electric potential due to a point charge will be VB is equal to 1 by 4 not Q by RB. This is the expression. Okay, so please note it down. Any questions as of now? This is what electric potential due to a point charge. Okay, so anyone having any questions, please respond. If you have any question, please. Is it clear? Have we copied? Have we copied? See, whenever you do any derivation, first of all, the diagrammatical representation is very important. First, you understand this diagrammatical representation, then you can go for the derivation. Derivation will be easy once you do the diagrammatical part correct. Okay, so that means the assumptions which you are taking, if it is clear, then the derivation also will go in that flow. Otherwise, you will stuck up in between. So that is very important. So if you have any questions, please If it is okay, then can I go for the next topic? Is it okay to you all? Guys, please either give a message in chat, or please respond. Does someone have given? Okay, clear, understood, given. Right, thank you. So here I'm going to start the next topic. Good heading, everyone. Next topic. So here, one more application we are going to see. Good heading, all of you. Electric potential due to charged spherical sphere, charged spherical shell. Charged spherical shell. So now, what is electric potential due to a point charge? V or V is equal to, what is that expression? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. That is about our electric potential. Next, put heading. So what I said, the heading next topic is electric potential. Electric potential due to charged spherical electric potential due to charged spherical shell. Okay, so this is our heading. Now, so before going to do this, so here how we can do spherical shell. So whenever we are talking about spherical shell, here the potential difference or the electric potential can be done in 3 different ways. How? When point P lies outside the shell, when the point P lies on the surface of the shell, and when the point P lies inside the shell. So what are the 3 different points? Here, this can be done in 3 different ways. First, when the point P lies outside the shell, charged shell, not simple shell, it's a charged shell. Okay, when second one is when the point P lies on the surface of the shell, on the surface of the charged shell. This is about the second one. And what is about the third one? Point P lies inside the shell, inside the charged shell. These are the 3 different ways which we are going to calculate the electric potential due to charged spherical shell. So this is fine. So now I'm going to draw the diagram and we'll see. And first put the heading, first one, everyone. So we are going to work for when the point P lies, outside the charged, So this is the first heading which we are going to work. So now we are going to extract the electric potential due to charged shell when the point lies outside. So for this, here we have to consider. So what I have to do again? Again, we have to consider spherical charged shell. So before going to write this, here I'm taking the diagram. I will draw. Just please follow me as it is, everyone, because otherwise we should not waste the time. So I request everyone, please draw the diagram, how I'm drawing. So parallelly, if you draw, then we should not waste the time and we can go to the derivation because we have to see 3 different ways how to work. Okay, so this is the charged spherical shell I have taken. And now this is my center of the spherical shell. Okay, so from this center of the spherical shell, here what we are taking when the point lies outside, when the point lies outside the shell. So when the point lies outside the shell, so this is the point I have taken P, or otherwise I will extend this little bit so that our diagram will be. This is our point. Then this is the center of the sphere. And here first I'll draw and then I'll explain. Okay, so here I'm taking one more. Here why I'm drawing, I will let you know. First let me complete drawing, then we'll see. And everyone follow the same how I'm drawing. Okay. Let's draw everyone in the similar manner. Just I have taken, what is this? I'll tell you. Because again, I have to use the line. That's why I'm using this line. So this is the diagram. Yeah, we got clearly. So it's looking nice. So now this is my center of the spherical, charged spherical shell, which is I taken at the center. O I taken, and the point where I taken here. This is the point P where I had taken, and the distance from the center to this point P is of distance R. I taken some small r distance, and already I said it is a charged spherical shell. So I am assuming positive charge on the surface of the shell. So that means everywhere. Okay, it is a positive charge. Okay, you can also write like this, positive charge. Now, here, what is this one? This, and this. These are nothing but the radius. Okay, I'm taking capital R. Either this also can be taken as the radius, this also can be taken. So this is our radius capital R. Okay, so I have taken radius of the spherical shell is R. Okay, and the charge present on this is already I assume that is positive plus Q. Now the angle between this and here one more I'm taking the line joining from this surface to here. I'm taking, so this is I'm taking some X distance I'm taking from the point P to some point here. I'm taking the point A, B, C, D. What is this A, B, C, D? I will tell you. Just a minute. I will tell you. This is the sector. This is also sector. I will tell you what is this. Okay. Now this makes with respect to the radius and that is line joining from the point P to the center and with respect to the radius, the angle between these two will be theta. It will be theta, and the angle between these two AC will be, I'm taking this as some angle d theta. Okay, some change that I'm taking as d theta. What is this? So here I will let you know. Okay, everyone. So this is about the diagram part. Okay, so I have completed. So what is this? So here I assumed a charged spherical shell in free space, and the point which is taken at the outside of this spherical shell, and this is the point P which I taken at a distance of small r. Okay, from the center of the sphere, and capital R is the radius of the sphere which I have taken here. Right, this I have taken. Now here this whole charge is distributed uniformly on the surface. So here already we have taken the positive charge and this is totally distributed on the whole sphere, correct? Whole charged spherical shell. Now here our intention is to find the electric potential at this particular point P. So for this, and what we have to do, we have to make this total spherical shell into equal annular rings. Equal annular rings. So here what I did for this purpose, what I have taken the total, we divide the total sphere into small number of rings. Okay, we do small number of rings. How? Suppose here this is my spherical shell. So I made this into like this, into small annular rings, like this, small area elements. Like this I taken, and here these two lines, that means the shape A, B, C, D, which I have taken. This is called one such plane which I have taken. That is one such plane only I have taken, and we have to work it out when the point lies outside. So this is one such ring. Okay, here because it's a spherical shell. Now, so here this ring ABCD I have taken between 2 points, between 2 different planes. What are they? One is 2 different points I can say on, because here it will be AB, it seems to be, but it will be on one side and CD will be on other side. So that means it is nothing but ABCD between 2 planes, AB and CD. These are the 2 planes, correct? So this is ABCD combinedly, it's a ring. But when we take in terms of planes, AB is one plane and CD is one plane, correct? So therefore, here the distance from C to P already I taken, that is X distance we have taken. And here I'm writing CP, distance between CP is some X I have taken. So I will erase this diagram. It is not required now. Yeah. So next, Here I have taken this, and what I said, another one, the angle between this line joining from the point P to C is theta. So that means angle COP should be equal to how much? Theta. Okay, and not only that, angle AOC of this particular sector AOC will be d theta. Okay, so these are the assumptions we have taken, and if you observe this diagram from this figure, I can say that here from this, here I'm writing directly from the figure, or from the figure we can say directly, no problem. From the figure we can write here triangle OEC. So that means triangle OEC. So what is this E again? Anybody can guess? What is this E? Where I have taken OC I have taken. So where is this E? E I am taking the point here. Okay, this is my point E. So from the triangle, okay, this triangle, right angle triangle I have taken. So why I have taken? Because this is the triangle which covering the ABCD ring. So from this I can write directly CE. That means from this right angle triangle OEC. From this right angle triangle OEC, because it is 90 degrees. OEC. So in this case, what you can write? Sine theta is equal to, how will you write? Sine theta is equal to, anyone can please repeat, what is sine theta is equal to? From this figure, what will you get? Opposite side by hypotenuse. So that means here I'm writing CE divided by C. And from here, we can also write this as CE is equal to OC sine theta. Correct? So this we can write. And so I request everyone, in another 9 minutes, this link is going to close. So I request everyone, please join with the same link after 9 minutes, once the link is closes. So CE is equal to OC sine theta we got. Now, this is from triangle OEC, right angle triangle. Now, from the same figure, here I am taking the sector. This is the sector, from sector AOC. So here I am taking from the sector AOC, we can write here as AC should be written as R d theta. R d theta. From this sector, OC can be written as R is the radius, or this also will be radius. And if you take this as the sector, then it should be written as R d theta. Which one? AC sector. So AC is equal to R d theta. Why I have taken this? Because see, with all these things only we can put this easily. So how I'm going to put the C? The circumference of the ring will be how much? What is the circumference of the ring? From this now you can give. Already we have sector arc is also there, sector is also there, right angle triangle OEC also there. So from here I'm going to write the circumference of the ring will be circumference. Write down everyone, circumference of the ring. The circumference of the ring should be written as, how you write the circumference of the ring? It should be 2 pi. What is that? 2 pi r. So we can write this as, how we can write? Circumference of the ring. It should be, how will write circumference? So here I am going to write this as 2 pi into r sine theta. How I have written this? How I have written this? R sine theta. One guess how I written this? R sine theta, because CE is equal to OC means R, so it should be R sine theta. Okay, correct. So this should be R CE, right? CE. So from here we can write this as 2 pi into R sine theta. Okay, so from here we can write circumference, and what therefore our area of the ring will be how much? This is about the circumference. Okay, then what will be the area of the ring? Area of the ring will be, area of the ring will be circumference 2 pi r sine theta, okay, into sector, means the sector AOC. So that should be written as R d theta, because it's a ring. It's not sphere, or it's not any sphere or any solid spherical stuff. It's a ring. We are working for ring. So area of the ring will be 2 pi r sine theta into r d theta, and this should be written as 2 pi r square sine theta d theta. 2 pi r square sine theta d theta. This is about the area of the ring. Now, what is the charge on this particular ring? Only on this particular ring. What is the charge? So here charge will be written. So charge on the ring. So what is the charge on the ring? So charge on the ring will be written as, how you write charge? Charge will be written as, charge on the ring will be written as, anybody can guess? Area of the ring, into surface charge density. Surface charge density. So surface density I'm writing. Surface charge density. Correct? So charge on the ring will be, that means charge on the ring will be, suppose Q is equal to area, means some area of the ring into charge density, that is rho. Correct? So that means rho is equal to charge per unit area. Correct? So in the similar way, charge on the ring will be written as Q. This is just for example I said. So in this way we have to put it up. So now substitute all the values. So area of the ring already we have. Area of the ring is 2 pi r sine theta, that means 2 pi r square sine theta d theta, and charge density will be rho. So charge density will be rho. It should be done by rho. So charge density with respect to the circular ring will be written as, how? Circular ring will be written as total charge per total surface area of that particular surface. What is that? So it should be sphere. So it should be Q by 4 pi r square. So substitute that in the place of rho. So then simplify, what you will get. So can I erase this side? Is it completed? Done, everyone? Up to here it is completed. So I'm erasing here this side. So we'll do here. Here I'll complete half portion. Okay. So here I'm going to write the charge on the ring. So here, due to this particular sector, if you work, because this small surface, then we have to write charge on the ring will be, here I'm going to write charge on the ring will be dq is equal to 2 pi r square sine theta, just I'm substituting the values, d theta into rho, and rho can be written as like this, 2 pi r square sine theta d theta into charge on this particular surface of ring will be written as charge is Q, correct, by 4 pi r square. Okay, by 4 pi r square, because rho is equal to charge per unit surface area, charge per unit surface, total surface. Okay, so this we can write here. Okay, so here we written that, and after simplifying, the charge will be present on this ring will be written as, after cancelling this, two times will go, and then it should be 1 q is left with q sine theta d theta divided by, anything is there, 2. Okay, like this, this is the charge. Now, so this is fine. So now charge we got on this particular ring. Then what is the potential, electric potential due to the charge on this ring? So electric potential. So electric potential on this charge, on this ring, will be written as dV is equal to, right? So dV is equal to, how will write that? dV is equal to, we can write this as, how will write? dq, how will write? dq, how will write that one? Potential difference will be defined as, how potential difference will be defined? Charge per, means the charge traveled per unit particular distance. Okay. So how it should be written? dV is equal to 1 by Here we can write that as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by already in the previous only we have done. Okay, so that means what is this x I written, because with respect to this ring, the distance traveled here from that particular point P is x. So with respect to this particular distance, that is x, which is taken, the electric potential at this particular point P we are going to find with respect to this ring. So this is only with respect to the small one such ring. Then we have to find for the total spherical shell. So here I am going to write this as dq. So substitute dq value here, then it should be dv is equal to, after substituting this q sine theta d theta, then how it becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, this is epsilon naught into q sine theta d theta, okay, by 2, what is here, x. So it should become as q sine theta d theta divided by 8 pi epsilon naught x. This is correct. So this is our electric potential with respect to this ring. Now we have to get for the total charged spherical shell. So what I have to do now? So here we have to write that. So can I erase this portion after this? The next one I'm doing here. I'm erasing this. You might have noted down. Correct? I said you to follow the steps how I'm doing. So you can also do one after one step what I'm doing. If you get any doubt, please you can raise. Already I said to you, you can ask the question. So now here I'm doing. Right. So here we can write the same expression. So now from yeah, meanwhile, if you have any questions, please raise, ask question. If you have any question, please. If you have any question, please. Anybody having any question? Yeah. So here what we got the expression that is dv, here I'm writing dv is equal to q sine theta, right? What we got? 8 pi epsilon naught x. Okay, so now this is in d theta, and here it is in the other terms we have sine theta, d theta, this is fine. But another variable we have here, that is x. So this x can be replaced, okay, like this. From the figure we can write, okay, how we can write? From here I'm writing from figure we can write x square is equal to r square plus, okay, r square minus 2r sine theta, so should be cos theta. Okay, so how I got this one? This we got 2r cos theta. Okay, so differentiate this with respect to theta. If we differentiate this with respect to theta, then how it becomes? By differentiating this with theta, by differentiating with respect to theta, then how it becomes? So what you'll get? After differentiating this with respect to theta, we can write this as 2x dx, okay, is equal to 2x dx, and then the leftover terms will be 2r sin theta d theta. From here, you can write sin theta d theta should be equal to, you can write x dx by capital R, x dx by capital R, small. Okay, so okay, so this will get, and take this and substitute this in the place of sin theta. Then our equation, this is dv, should be written as q into, what is the here? We have in the place of sin theta d theta, x dx divided by what we got, 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r into x. Correct? So this x term will get cancelled. Then dv should remain as dv is equal to q dx divided by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R into small r. Okay. So now here we have to write for the code. Earlier we are done only with the small one such ring we have worked out. Right? Now we have to work for the total. So total spherical shell, when the point lies outside the total spherical shell, we can write like this. And what are the limits to be taken? Anybody can guess? What are the limits to be taken? So here the potential, we have to take the electric potential for the whole sphere. So whenever you want to take for the whole spherical shell, so we have to integrate this, right? So when we integrate this, the limits of the integral will be taken from like this. So how it should be taken? It should be taken from x is equal to small r minus capital R, okay? And x is equal to, final will be taken as r plus capital R. Like this we have to take. Then here v is equal to integral small r minus capital R to r plus capital R dv should be equal to integral small r minus capital R to small r plus capital R to q dx by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R. Okay, so here when you simplify this, how you'll get? It should be q by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r into x limits r minus capital R to r plus capital R. Correct? Because integral of dx, it should be x only. So here what you have to do, you have to substitute the limits. So once you substitute the limits, then the expression will become as q by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R into small r. So here you have to substitute x minus r and r minus of r. So from this we can write this as what you can write? It should be as r plus capital R minus small r plus capital R. So after simplifying this, what you will get? What you will get after simplifying this? Small r will get cancelled, then it should be 2r. So here finally v will be equal to q by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r into 2r. Right? So 2 4 times if it goes, r will get cancelled. So now what you got the expression? Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into r. Correct? So this is the electric potential V. So here again I'm writing V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. And the point lies outside the charged sphere. So this is about the electric potential due to a total charged spherical shell. Okay. So here, this is the potential difference, electric potential due to a charged spherical sphere when the point lies outside. Okay, clear? Next, put the heading. So if it is okay, then I will erase this.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, there we are differentiating it with respect to theta, no, sir. Then why did you take it as 2x dx?
2x dx. No, dx d theta, right? It should be 2x dx for this one. Or we can take with respect to theta or just if we do differentiation. Okay. So what happens? It should be 2x dx, right?
No, sir, it will be constant.
No, it should be constant, correct? But when you write, okay, with respect to theta, or simply we can say just differentiation, then how it will without theta, okay, without with respect to theta, then how you'll get similar? Can we do like
Then
that?
we have to even consider r square, no, sir.
R
Capital
square.
R square and small square if you are doing it for x square.
That's fine. We can do, but here, or if we do, we can't. How can we do the rods? Because from the diagram, we have taken x is the actually our intention is where the point lies outside. So at a distance of x, right? So we are concerned with respect to x and the x values only we have to get. At what distance with respect to small annular ring, you will get with respect to that how we are getting, right? Already we got d theta with respect to the sector, angle of sector, right? Angle of sector. So angle of sector means if it is, this is the sector, okay? So for this, we got d theta, correct? And here from there to another point where we have taken, it is x, correct? So in this case, we are working for that to give. Okay, so that means x, if you take, which should be x dx, and the remaining term, actually the other values also we can put in that way only. But to solve this, we can do in this way only. Otherwise, we can't get in another way. You see the textbooks also, you just go through the textbook in which way they are done. Okay, they might be did in some other way, but I did in different trial and error. What I observed means if we do with respect to this x and theta, if you take only these two in terms of relation between x and theta, then it is easy to solve. Otherwise, it can't be solved because again, what I did, x I taken in terms of r's only, small r and capital R. Have you observed? The limits also I again projected in terms of smaller and capital R. Have you observed? The initial limit will be r minus capital R. When it is r minus capital R, what is happening there? Anybody can guess? If it is r plus r, what is the difference? Anybody can guess? R minus r means it should be center. Getting? So from center to outside we are taking. So this is the only way we can do. That's why I had taken in that. That's why x also I represented in terms of r. That's why I taken the limits also like that. Here. If not, you also try and please help me in this, okay? But what I feel this is the best one we can do in this way. So I had taken it. Yeah. Who is that? Who's
Yes,
spoken?
sir.
Yeah. What is your name?
Deekshita, sir.
Deekshita. Can you try again?
Yes, sir, I'll do.
Suppose if you take a different way, how and what will be the limits? You understood what, in which way I had taken? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Because these things are adjusting here, even in terms of limits also. Because x is equal to r minus capital R and r plus capital R if I take, then it is fulfilling. Correct? If or otherwise in your way, if you think in other way, just see and we'll see in the tomorrow's class. Okay? Try at least.
Yes, sir.
Because what I feel this is easy to get. Okay? Yeah. Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good observation. So here, that is actually, this is the only important step in this derivation. Right? That's why I didn't put maximum in that. That's just simply by differentiating from this, we need only sin theta d theta, and we are replacing that in terms of x dx, and whole again we are converting x values into r's only. That is the only part I did. Okay. So now you can give, if the point lies on the surface, then what happens here? If the point lies on the surface, what happens here? The point lies on the surface. What happens here? Anybody? Dikshita, you can. So small r should be equal to capital R. Correct? When the point lies on the surface. So there will be no capital R, small r, right? Because this was the small r. This is the point P. And this is our capital R, correct? This is also capital R. When the point you are taking on the surface, then this point comes here. So that means R is equal to capital R. This point itself coming over here, correct? So that means you won't get any such difference. So the electric potential difference on the surface we can write directly as V is equal to Q by the charge present on this is Q, and the surface area will be 4 pi R square. That will be written as 4 pi epsilon naught capital R square or small. Either it should be capital R square or small R square. That's your wish, but we can do in that way. But when you put in terms of capital R square, can you write capital R square, or what is the actual potential difference we got? V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R, right? When the point lies on the surface, you'll get V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R, or it should be capital like this. If it is R square, then it should be electric field intensity. Okay, this is wrong. So you will get this one. How I got? Can you work it out this? Same how we did for the spherical surface, in Gaussian charged sphere. Correct? When the point lies on the surface, what happens? In the small r should be equal to capital R. So that means the same expression which we have got here, this should be replaced as V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R. That's it. This is our expression. Finished. This is the answer. When the point P lies on this surface of the charged shell, spherical shell. Correct? This is about the second one. Now, when the point P lies inside, what is the difference inside? This is important. When the point lies inside. So can you think in that? What is the difference you'll get? See, already I said this should be capital R or small r, correct? When the point lies. So when the point lies, you are taking both you can consider. When the point lies inside, what you will get? Okay, we'll see in the next class. Otherwise, okay. Anybody having any questions? Yeah, Ravari also said if it is a point from here or a constant, that's fine. When we differentiate, we get 0. But what I did here, I replaced them in terms of x with some limits. That is the difference I had taken. There is the only way we can do. Otherwise, it will be 0. Okay. So please go through the textbook which I shared with you. So like this, you have to raise the question so that everyone will get understand. But don't see the mathematical part. Just try to understand the graphical representation. Okay. So that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay. So any questions? If no questions, so we'll stop. We'll discuss tomorrow. If you have any questions, we can raise tomorrow. And if you see again, I'm requesting everyone, try again. Okay, try. I may be wrong or you may be correct. We'll see. Or I may be correct. You may be wrong. We'll see that. Okay, no need to worry. So like this, discussion should happen. Then only everyone will get understand clearly. Okay. So any questions? If not, can I close? Okay, thank you. Take care, everyone. Ganesh is there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please share the attendance. Okay,
Okay, sir.
you understand or not?
Yes, sir. Understand, sir.
Right, right. Okay, remaining, if you have still doubt, we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, thank you all. Take care.